What is awkward but really shouldn't be? Hey dude, just type your number into my phone so that we can hang out. I mean just as brothers, nothing gay, ha ha ha. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. If you're gay, that's totally fine. I'm just saying the purpose of getting your number isn't for gay reasons. Which, again, would not be a big deal, I'm just clarifying. Geez, this is awkward. I like you, okay. I like you and I think we should hang out again and maybe one day we'll be friends. Why is this so fucking hard? Saying no to a social invitation when your reason is that you just don't feel like going. Just deny the invitation, man. Hey, wanna come to X? Nope. After a while people will get that you go out only if you want. Although there is a slight chance they'll stop inviting you to stuff. I have a friend who's extremely introverted and only accepts invitations 10% of the time. I always send him an invite when no one else does because, even if I know he'll reject it, it's still nice to be asked and feel included. It's always a nice surprise when the introvert does wanna hang out. Edit, I am an introvert who also used to be so shy it was crippling. I know that feeling of being left out. Empathy is one of the few good qualities that I have, haha, so I try to make all my friends feel appreciated for who they are and not feel guilty for wanting their solo time. Edit 2, thanks for all the replies, guys. I'm reading all of them. It would be great if being an introvert was praised as much as being an extrovert because both kinds of people are awesome. Going along with this, I'd say guys buying tampons/pads for their girlfriends. I never felt ashamed doing that. I felt accomplished knowing that the quantity of menstrual fluid a tampon must hold is strictly regulated using very well-defined terms. Are you sloughing off between 9 and 12 grams of uterine lining every 6 hours? No problem, babe. Super it is. Walking the same speed as someone else. If you've noticed first, you can kick into a higher gear and win the race before they even know there's a race. I always do this when I'm walking home at night, and the streets are quiet. I usually give myself a running commentary in my head that goes something like this. And here's TR Mark coming up fast on blue hooded random. He's trying to pass on the inside, but what's this? The pavement is too narrow and blue hooded stranger is racing smart in the middle, so there's not enough room. TR Mark has gone on the road, this is madness. He's done it, he's gone into first place. I have never ever seen a move like that. I get a little carried away. Leaving a grocery store without having bought anything. My thoughts while walking away. I look suspicious, they all think I'm a shoplifter. But a shoplifter would never walk out the store without buying anything. But what if the shoplifter thinks the exact same thing? He would also leave without buying anything. Now I definitely look like a shoplifter. Why am I walking so funny? Yes, we've made it. I have a problem, I think. Edit, grammar and spelling. Opening presents in front of someone. And then you say thank you, but you realize you don't sound genuine, so you say it again, and now it sounds even less genuine, but it really is genuine because you like the present, but now you're thinking about how to seem genuine, so everything you do is acting, and you're awful at acting, so you seem like you are trying to fake being genuine, which you are even though you are genuine. Asking someone for money they owe you. I have two friends who don't really talk to each other anymore over money. One of them was unemployed and wasn't able to chip in for beer or food for about a year. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. We invited him to come out and knew he didn't have money. Since then that friend got a high-paying job, and friend 2 got bitter because he feels like he is owed money. Maybe he is, but he never voices his opinion. Just acts like a passive-aggressive dick. Liking things. I can't tell you how many times I've found videos on /r/cringe of somebody singing badly and really getting into it, or some dude going off about how much he loves cartoons or model trains or whatever. I don't get why demonizing enjoyment of life has become such a popular thing. It's not the running that's awkward, it's the fact that I can only make it about 4 seconds before I'm pretty out of breath, cardio ain't my thing, and I resort to the ever awkward run-walk. Edit, guys, I'm perfectly fit and can run without issue. This was just a hyperbole. Smile. Thanks for all the fitness advice though. Last week I entered a public bathroom at the same time as this other guy. Unfortunately we both had to drop off the kids at the pool, and there was this unbearable awkward silence. We both sat there not pooping for about 5 minutes, trying to avoid the inevitable monstrous fart and tsunami-sized splash that happens in those situations. As a solution, it would only get worse building up all of that pressure. I pulled out my phone, turned on Bob Marley radio on Pandora, turned it all the way up, and told the guy, "There you go, this should help." He laughed, said thanks, and we proceeded to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. Edit, so I said I wouldn't do this when it happened, but I also probably said at some point I wouldn't talk to strangers about my bathroom adventures. Anyway, thanks kind stranger for popping that gold cherry for me. I heard it doesn't count if you do it yourself. Buying condoms. Can confirm, I'm a cashier. Honestly, people may feel ashamed they are brining up a box of condoms or tampons thinking it's awkward, when 20 minutes ago I probably hauled a giant box of them out onto the shelf for people to eventually buy. I don't find it awkward because it's my job, so people shouldn't feel awkward because it's a natural thing. Who wants blood everywhere and kids? I shudder at the thought. Going to the gym as a fat person. As a formerly fat person who's been going to the gym for the last year and a half, I can tell you that I wish I could go up to every overweight person on the elliptical and give them a high five, but then I'd have to list that on this thread, as would they likely. I am like insanely proud of people I've never met who are working their fat asses off because I know how fucking hard it was to lose the weight, and I am like their #1 cheerleader to silently hope they're successful too. I lost 100 pounds in the last 17 months through diet and exercise alone. As a grown-ass man, talking to children is getting increasingly awkward with age. No, I'm not trying to kidnap your daughter, she's just way more entertaining than you and all the other big people. What is this? There are two types of heterosexual men in this world, ass men and boob men. The latter get more turned on by a nice rack, while the former prefer a generous caboose. /u/androgenic said he is a grown-ass man, which means he is an adult who falls into the former category, as men. /u/bunk. Pitch pointed out that talking to children is as awkward for adult boob men, grown boob men, as it is for adult as men, grown as men. Unless that isn't what /u/androgenic meant, in which case he should learn to properly hyphenate his words. Accidentally touching your friend's hand while walking together. Not as awkward as the accidental butt touch. The other night I was hanging out at my friend's house. I was sitting down and my friend walked by. She turned to sit in the chair next to me at the same time I leaned back in my chair, which was wobbly, and I almost fell, so I flung my arms into the air, and one hand went right up her skirt and hit her butt. Thank God she was wearing leggings too. I was so mortified. It was the most random thing to happen to me ever. Pooping in public. Oh God, I was taking a shit late one night at a Walmart and this older Asian guy who worked there asked me very loudly when I was doing my business if I was okay. I mean, nothing unusual was going on, just a typical crap. The worst part was when I walked out and he had this creepy smile on his face and all that was running through my mind was ew. Scat fetish. Ew. I mean, I still laugh at the memory, but at the same time, ew. Not to mention an 11 on the 1 to 10 awkward scale. Edit, thank you very much, I'm glad my awkward experience amused you, stranger. OMG. I've been waiting 20 plus years for this to come up. Here's my answer. First year of college, I'm in the dorms, and I'm walking back to my room from the showers, wearing the standard towel and shower shoes etc. I get to my room and my girlfriend's dropped by to see me and she's in my room casually chatting with my roommate. I go in and close the door to change, but it feels weird. I can change in front of my roommate, no weirdness cause just dudes. And I can change in front of my GF, no weirdness cause sexual partner. But it was very weird changing in front of them both. There's no obvious reason why this should be weird, but it is. Having older people sitting in the back seat of a car. People are weirdly sensitive about seating in cars in general. As a 5 feet 1 inch young woman, I have always offered to sit in the back if an adult has to, or to sit in the middle of a row if it's completely full. It's so rare for people to just accept this and sit up front without trying to switch, though. They always go, oh no you don't have to, etc. So instead of verbally offering, I usually just physically go sit in the spot, but even then people tend to do the oh you don't have to sit way back there, we can change spots if you want. I know they mean well, but it makes me feel awkward. If I am a foot shorter than you and 75 pounds lighter, it's really okay that I am the one who gets stuck sitting between two kids in car seats or whatever. You can have the front seat. It's so obvious that if you're 6 foot tall and 200 pounds that you don't really want to sit in the middle in the back. Come on. I think my family feels bad that I am the one who gets the worst spot when we go somewhere in one car as a group, but it's really just the logical option when there is an obvious size difference. And it's not like we do this more than a couple of times a year, so who cares if it's always me in the middle? It's always the same person in every other seat too, and that isn't weird, so why is it weird for me to be in the middle as an adult? Calling to make an appointment. The people on the other end of the phone always seem confused or flustered. Like they're being bothered. Maybe I just get bad doctor offices. I always get the person who is apparently trying to decide which caller they're going to cuss out before they quit in a firestorm of middle fingers. I don't know what makes those people so angry, but Jesus, just quit so I can talk to someone who doesn't sound angry at me for having the flu. For me, making friends as an adult. I too had this same problem with disconnect and lack of close friends, and there's a trick to it. You have to care, like really actually care about them. Invest in them, offer help whenever possible, even if it inconveniences you. Especially if it inconveniences you, because it shows them that they are important to you. Be there for them when the chips are down, not in the you can always come to me way, because people are embarrassed to ask for help. You sit down with them and talk and figure out what we can do together to figure it out. And if they don't want your help, respect that. Friendships deepen in times of need, so be there for people, and do it without ulterior motives. And communicate. This applies mostly after college. Most people suck at keeping in touch because we're so worn down from daily life. I don't always like being the one who calls friends to get together, but once I do, everyone's always happy it happened. Leaving someone's yard sale without buying anything. And you were the only one there. Or an empty store you're browsing. Happened to me yesterday. I spent all this time thinking of what I should say since I was the only one there and wasn't going to buy anything before leaving. Just said, thanks. As I was leaving, and the dude was super nice and told me to have a wonderful day. Smile? Admitting you're going through a tough time and are about to break down. This was essentially me a few days ago. My dog had died while I'm here at college, so I kept thinking I should tell someone but never knew how. Plus, it's awkward for men to cry apparently, so essentially I just had to sit there and clear my head for the entire day to keep from breaking down spontaneously. Asking someone to repeat something for the third plus time. Him, if you break her heart I'll kill you. Me, ha ha yeah. So a girl asked me out once in high school at a track meet. I'm assuming that must have taken some courage, especially considering the genders are usually reversed. It was hard to hear with all the spectators and announcer, so when she was talking to me I just kept nodding. I thought it was just a casual conversation and just kept nodding while watching people race. I guess she took it as me not being interested in her, and then she asked if it was because she was ugly. Didn't hear what she said of course and just nodded again. I found out later what she said from a friend wondering why I said yes to that. I'm not the best with girls. Other failure stories that make me embarrassy. Telling someone you like them. It's a natural desire to be attracted to another human being. People act like it's something to be ashamed of. I don't fear that, I fear the consequence. Was it inappropriate? Does she have someone special already? Does she even regard I'm alive? Is she gonna tell someone? Will her father hear about it? The next 10 seconds, how do I walk away awkwardly? You see what I'm getting at? Signing for the pizza delivery. Knowing the pizza boy is watching you sign and waiting for a tip. There's always a palpable tension because you know his eyes are trained on that tip line. As an ex-pizza boy, I can assure you it's equally awkward not knowing where to look while you sign. And even more awkward shoving it into my pocket without looking and muttering a quick thank you. And then crippling anxiety when I got to my car and saw that you left a 30% tip. I wasn't nearly grateful enough. I'm just a rude, terrible man. This is why I can't maintain a meaningful relationship, etc., etc.